In the near future, America loses almost an entire generation of children. A mysterious disease spreads across the country, killing nearly 90% of all kids and teenagers. But the children who survive don't come back normal. They develop extraordinary abilities, and the government gives those abilities a color. Greens become incredibly intelligent. Blues can move objects with their minds. Yellows can control electricity. Reds can control fire. And then there are the oranges. Children capable of reading and controlling other people's minds. The government considers oranges the most dangerous of them all. So dangerous, they're killed immediately. The remaining survivors are taken to government camps, supposedly for their protection. But the truth is much darker. The government isn't trying to save these children. It's trying to control them. And some of the most powerful Reds are being tortured and brainwashed, turned into weapons for the president. But one little girl manages to hide the most dangerous power of all. Her name is Ruby Daly. Ruby survives the disease, but something strange happens on her birthday. That night, she goes into her mother's room to comfort her. Ruby reaches for her hand, and suddenly, she sees something inside her mother's mind. She doesn't understand what happened, but her mother does. The next morning, Ruby's mother looks directly at her and doesn't recognize her own daughter. Terrified, she calls the government. Within hours, Ruby is taken away, and that's when her nightmare begins. At the camp, every surviving child is tested. The scientists want to know exactly what each child can do. When Ruby's turn comes, the results are terrifying. She's an orange. The doctor immediately prepares to kill her. Ruby knows she has only seconds, so she reaches for his hand. Her ability activates. She enters his mind and plants a completely different memory. The doctor suddenly believes Ruby is a harmless green. He changes her classification, and just like that, Ruby saves her own life. But there's a catch. She has to spend the next 6 years pretending to be someone she's not. She works inside the camp, keeps her head down, never touches anyone, never uses her ability, because one mistake could expose her, and if the guards discover she's orange, she dies. The camp becomes Ruby's entire world, until one day, a routine test changes everything. The children are exposed to an extremely high-pitched frequency. Ruby collapses. When she wakes up, she's being examined by a camp worker named Kate. But Kate notices something the others don't. Ruby isn't green, she's orange, and if the camp finds out, Ruby will be executed. Instead of turning her in, Kate secretly warns her. Then she gives Ruby one chance to escape. "Meet me in the boiler room." Ruby runs. The camp immediately goes into lockdown. Guards search every hallway, but Kate gets Ruby into her car and drives straight for the exit. They reach a checkpoint. A guard stops them. For one terrifying moment, Ruby thinks she's caught. Then she reaches through the car window, touches his hand, and takes control of his mind. The guard steps aside. The gate opens, and after 6 years, Ruby is finally free. But she has no idea who she can trust. Kate tells her she's part of a resistance group called the Children's League. Their mission is to rescue surviving children and fight back against the government. Ruby wants to believe her. Then Kate takes her to meet another League member named Rob. Ruby accidentally touches him and immediately sees something disturbing inside his mind. She realizes the League isn't as innocent as Kate claims. Before she can find out more, Ruby sees a little girl nearby. Electricity is sparking from her body. The girl panics and runs. Ruby follows her. The girl jumps into a van. Ruby jumps in too, and that's where she meets Zoo, a young yellow who barely speaks and always wears gloves to control her electrical powers. She's traveling with 2 other boys, Liam, a blue who can move objects with his mind, and Chubbs, a green whose intelligence is far beyond normal. They don't trust Ruby, and Ruby doesn't trust them, but they have something she desperately needs, a way to stay hidden. Liam explains that they're trying to reach a mysterious safe haven called East River. It's supposedly a place where powered children can live without camps or government soldiers, and it's led by someone known only as the Slip Kid. Some say he's an orange. Some say he can control anyone's mind. Nobody knows who he really is. But Ruby decides to go with them, because for the first time, she has nowhere else to go, and none of them realize that the government isn't the only thing hunting them. A ruthless child hunter named Lady Jane is already on their trail. She doesn't care about rescuing children. She cares about the reward, and she's coming for Ruby. Lady Jane catches up with them before they can get very far. Her vehicle closes in, and suddenly the 4 kids are being hunted through the streets. Liam takes control. With a single thought, he sends leaves, branches, and chunks of the road flying into their path. Jane's vehicle swerves. The road cracks beneath her. Trees come crashing down, and somehow, the 4 escape. For the moment, they're safe. But Ruby is still hiding the biggest secret in the van. She's an orange, and if Liam and the others discover the truth, she could lose the only friend she's had in years. That night, the group stops at a hotel. Ruby lies awake thinking about her parents. She still remembers them, but there's something she hasn't told anyone. When she was younger, she accidentally used her power on her mother. She didn't just control her mind, she erased herself from it. Her own mother forgot she ever existed, and Ruby has been carrying that guilt ever since. Later that night, Ruby accidentally touches Zoo's hand. Another memory hits her. She sees Zoo inside a government camp. Hundreds of children are there. Then chaos breaks out. The children rebel. They escape. And Zoo is left traumatized by everything she witnessed. Now Ruby finally understands why Zoo barely speaks. The next morning, the group reaches an abandoned shopping mall. For once, they can relax. They search for food and clothes. Zoo gets to play around with the electricity. Liam and Chubbs joke with each other. For a few minutes, they look like ordinary kids enjoying an ordinary day. But then, they're suddenly lifted into the air. Someone is using telekinesis against them. Ruby and the others are trapped. Luckily, Zoo unleashes her electricity and forces their attackers to back off. It turns out they're another group of surviving children. Nobody wants a fight. They start talking instead. And that's when Ruby learns something important. These kids know where East River is, but they refuse to reveal the location. Ruby secretly uses her ability. She pushes one of them just enough to reveal a clue. 3 letters, EDO. That's all they get. Chubbs immediately starts thinking. It doesn't sound like a location. It sounds like something else. Then he realizes what it might be. A radio frequency. They start searching through the radio bands. Finally, a transmission comes through, and it gives them the location they've been looking for. Lake Prince, Virginia. East River is real. Now they just have to survive long enough to reach it. But before they leave, Liam reveals something Ruby never expected. They're not going straight to East River. They're taking her somewhere else first. Salem, Virginia. Ruby doesn't understand why. Then she sees the house. Her old house. Her parents are standing inside. For a moment, Ruby can't move. After 6 years, she finally gets to see her family again. She walks toward the glass door. Then she sees her mother. Ruby's heart breaks because her mother looks right through her. She doesn't recognize her. Ruby realizes the truth. She didn't just lose her family. She made them forget she ever existed. Unable to handle it, Ruby runs. Liam follows her. He doesn't ask questions. And for the first time, Ruby lets someone see how badly she's hurting. The two slowly grow closer, but Ruby refuses to touch him because she knows exactly what her power can do. One touch, and Liam could forget her forever. Meanwhile, Lady Jane has already found Chubbs and Zoo. She's holding them hostage. Then she sets a trap for Ruby and Liam. The two walk straight into it. Jane attacks. Ruby finally stops running. She reaches into Jane's mind and takes control. The hunter who spent years terrifying children is suddenly powerless. Ruby forces Jane to let them go. Liam and Chubbs stare at her. Now they know. Ruby isn't green. She's orange, the most dangerous color of them all. Ruby finally admits she lied because she was scared, but instead of abandoning her, Liam stays. And that changes everything. The group abandons their van and continues on foot. After everything they've been through, they finally reach East River, and Ruby can't believe what she sees. Hundreds of children are living there. No guards, no cages, no government doctors, just kids who survived, finally living together. For the first time in years, Ruby thinks she might actually be safe. Then she meets the person behind it all, the mysterious Slip Kid, and the truth is almost impossible to believe. His name is Clancy Gray. He's the president's son, and he's an orange. Clancy tells Ruby that he was one of the earliest children to survive the disease. The government experimented on him, hoping his abilities could help create a cure. They failed. His father covered it up, so Clancy escaped and built East River. At least, that's what he wants everyone to believe. Clancy takes Ruby under his wing. He teaches her how to control her power without touching anyone. At first, Ruby struggles. Then she succeeds. She can finally reach into someone's mind from a distance. But Clancy wants something in return. He wants to learn how to erase memories. Ruby agrees to help him because Chubbs is homesick and wants to contact his parents. But while they're practicing, Clancy turns on her. He enters Ruby's mind and tries to control her. Ruby fights back and escapes. Now she finally sees the truth. Clancy isn't protecting these children. He's building something. And whatever it is, it's much more dangerous than East River. She can't stay at East River. She has to get her friends out before Clancy turns them into his soldiers. Ruby finds Liam, Chubbs, and Zoo. They make a plan to leave, but Clancy already knows. Before they can get away, government forces surround East River. Liam immediately realizes what's happening. Clancy betrayed them. He contacted the government and used them to take control of the children. The camp erupts into chaos. Children run in every direction, and then the government reveals its most terrifying weapon, the Reds. These children can control fire, but instead of being treated like survivors, they've been tortured and conditioned into becoming soldiers. Now they're being unleashed on East River. Fire spreads across the camp. The children desperately try to escape. Liam uses his telekinetic abilities to protect the others, but Clancy has one advantage. He can control minds, and one by one, he starts taking control of the children around him. Ruby realizes that fighting Clancy head-on won't work, so she does something unexpected. She turns his own power against him. Ruby reaches into the soldiers' minds and tries to turn them against Clancy, but Clancy is too powerful. He takes control of the soldiers and forces them to turn on each other. Ruby watches in horror. This isn't about winning anymore. Clancy wants complete control, and he'll destroy anyone who stands in his way. Liam gets the other children out of the camp, but Ruby stays behind. She knows Clancy won't stop until she's defeated. The two oranges finally face each other. Clancy tries to enter Ruby's mind. Ruby pushes back. For a moment, neither one can overpower the other. Then Ruby notices an aircraft nearby. She reaches into the pilot's mind and takes control. The aircraft suddenly changes direction and crashes into the camp. A massive explosion tears through East River. Ruby barely escapes, but Chubbs isn't so lucky. He's badly injured. Ruby desperately tries to get him to safety, but she knows she can't save him alone. There's only one thing left to do. She pulls out the panic button Kate gave her and presses it. The Children's League is coming. The next morning, League members arrive and take the survivors away. Chubbs is rushed to a hospital. Zoo is placed with a family who can protect her. For the first time, she might finally have a real home, but Liam isn't so lucky. The League arrests him. They don't trust him because he once left the organization, and they know he has learned too much. Ruby refuses to let them take him. Ruby looks Kate in the eyes and makes a deal. She'll join the Children's League. She'll train her powers. She'll fight alongside them. But in exchange, Liam has to be released. Kate agrees, but Ruby knows something else. Liam will never leave without her, and if he stays, he'll keep coming back for her. So Ruby makes an impossible decision. She meets Liam one last time. He tells her they can still escape together. They can disappear. They can find somewhere safe. Ruby wants to believe him, but she knows the truth. As long as Liam remembers her, he'll never be free. Ruby reaches for his hand. Her orange ability activates, and she begins erasing herself from his memories. First, he forgets how they met, then the road trip, then the motel, then their time at East River, and finally, he forgets Ruby. Liam looks at her. There's no recognition in his eyes anymore. Ruby forces herself to walk away. The moment she turns around, she breaks down because she just erased the memory of the person she loved most to give him a chance to survive. Liam leaves, and Ruby stays behind, but this time she isn't hiding. She's no longer pretending to be green. She's no longer afraid of being orange. She joins the Children's League and begins training alongside other powered children. Ruby has finally accepted who she is, but somewhere else, Clancy is still alive, and he's standing above the very government that once hunted children like him. He's looking over the forces under his control, already preparing for what's next. And sooner or later, these two sides are going to collide, because the fight for America's surviving children has only just begun.